Hello everyone and welcome back to Breaklight Productions. My name is Curtis Lambert and today we're reacting to another 6 currently trending music videos. The first 2 are electronica, then we've got 2 heavy metal ones and then 2 rap ones. So let's jump on into it. Starting with GORDO and Reinier Zonneveld, Loco, and this was published 4 days ago, 300,000 views. Let's jump on into it. Damn, that's a... Wow, how did they do that? Gonna have to rewatch that bit again. That's cool. This is so unique already. What the hell? Nice little crane up. Oh, bit of shaky cam, Dutch angle. Good push in. So, interesting thing, sorry to break it so quickly, but what you'll see is there's actually eye lights on him, even though he's wearing these contact lenses that are meant to make him look, you know, a bit off-putting. Those eye lights is still there, adding like character and sort of like humanity to what would otherwise be very scary eyes, and that's the power of like eye lights. Love the makeup and like their hair. It's great. Even his outfit is awesome. Very simple shot use so far. Oh, that's a cool effect. That's cool. Hell yeah, what a transition. Damn, okay. Awesome VFX. Yeah, like, these shots are relatively simple and straightforward. It's the VFX and the just design of the character and the sets that's doing the heavy lifting, which is great. Like, I love that the editing is actually holding on the shots for a long time, like this right now. It actually lets us like get a proper look at the world. Yeah, what now? Oh damn, okay, that was it. There's quite a bit of... What's this? Hang on. Is this all VFX or something? I'm trying to understand this final bit. Artist, directed by creator, editor. I guess it would be. Oh no, but there is camera Kevin Owens, which is a wrestler's name, so I like to imagine that it's it's WWE's Kevin Owens on camera here. But no, that's really, yeah, I'm not sure what this ending, like, if that was like, so you'll have something which you call previs, and what previs is essentially like you can go out on location, or you might do it just in studio, it depends what you're filming, and you just act everything out yourself. It's usually a really small crew, you know, maybe like your director, DOP, AD, maybe an editor or VFX supervisor, and then sometimes the talent, sometimes not. And you're basically just performing and blocking out the whole thing so that on the days of filming you know what works and what doesn't, because it gives you a good idea of what lighting looks good, what the pros and cons, like if you're filming out on a location, there might be some things that you couldn't have otherwise like planned for whatever. So yeah, it's a good way of, essentially it's a filmed rehearsal, and it's really useful. So I'm not sure if this white square here where they're acting it out is just a previs, or if it's more than that. But yeah, really, if it is just a previs, very interesting choice to actually show it. That's really cool. This shot with the car is wild. Like, that's so cool. And that would have been probably just a green screen effect. Like, they've basically got the plate shot of our main character like walking up with that brick wall behind him, and then they've gotten this car shot with a green screen or blue screen, and then like cut the other shot in and all of that, and that's why it can move that sort of sideways direction, which yeah is just fascinating choice. Love all the smoke effects, love the Dutch angles, love the fact that, as I said, you know, the editing isn't quick. A lot of editors, I feel, especially beginners, would feel the need to chop this up more. But I like the fact that it draws out the shots, because it's letting you really see the performance, the makeup, the costuming, the set design. Like, it's really, really cool. I do just want to mention this bit as well. So that would have been a fog machine blowing through there, and I reckon they've got a little pink LED light and just got it under there, which is why you've got that bit of glow from it. And then they probably would have just upped that in the color grading, which is why you're getting that almost like neon pink there. So yeah, really cool. The elephant's wild. Like, that is such a bold decision. But no, all in all, yeah, just a very interesting and very different music video. So let's jump on into the next one. All right, so next one is Pyrex Pool Techno featuring Capo Plaza. This one does say it's just a visual. I don't know if it's just gonna be, yeah, more like just stock footage, or if it's gonna be an actual music video, but it's got 37,000 views in 5 days, which, like, this Pyrex guy has less than 5,000 subscribers, so that's really good for an artist that is still growing. So let's check it out. 3 minutes long. Boom. Ooh, cool. Lot of energy already. Lot of whip pans. Well, I guess it's not really a whip pan. Interesting. So first off, should go without saying, again, you'll notice highlights. Every single one of these shots has an highlight. Now, again, some people will say to me like, yeah, but of course when there's a light in front of him shining, it's going to give him an highlight. That doesn't mean that it's on purpose. But it really, like, the reason I go on and on about highlights is because if you're lighting a scene where you want us to feel connected to the person we're looking at and you don't have highlights, you're gonna struggle. Because with this, it just, like, look at this frame. It makes, like, there's a humanity behind it. There's a lifeness behind it. If there wasn't these white bits shining in his eyes, that would just be like black pupils. It just, you know, it doesn't feel like lifelike and real, you know. I mean, there's a reason I always say, if highlights weren't important, why does every single anime, every single animated Disney feature, whether it be like a Pixar 3D then or 2D hand-drawn, why do they all have highlights? So, very important. Like, yeah, even in those wider shots, they've got it. Very moody lighting though. It seems very one-directional, but also sort of moves around a bit. Which I think all that would be is probably just a spotlight on a stand, and they're just like, you know, rotating it around, like move it around, which, yeah, like creates a lot of really cool effects. And also gives you that like harsher light, which we are seeing on some of these shots, because the shadows are so pronounced in some of them. So a very interesting visual. Like, I feel like this is gonna be the whole music video. But I know some people may watch this and be like, oh, like, why not do something a bit more exciting or whatever, but like, I appreciate what they're doing, because it is, in my opinion, pretty nice shots. Like, they look cool. Like, I love the lighting. I'd say, of course, one issue, and again, we talk about this all the time, but it's probably a bit hard for you all to see here, but like, I can see all the like clumpness of the black pixels, and that's just YouTube compression. Unfortunately, that's always gonna happen. I think it would have been, in my opinion, a bit more interesting to throw a bit of a harder grain on this. Like, I feel like they've definitely added a little something, like a little bit of grain. But I reckon this could look beautiful. Like, I shouldn't say beautiful, more beautiful, if it had like a harsher, like film-like grain. But yeah, like, at the end of the day, like, you know, someone took the effort to shoot this, and like, I appreciate that, you know. And like, even if it's, you know, someone might say, oh, what if it's stock footage? Well, hey, like, at least you're using like real people, you know, like whoever this, I don't know if this is the artist or not, but like, yeah, I appreciate the effort, you know. You see too many people, even top tier bands and that are just turning around and resorting to AI, and it's like, come on, man, like, you know, people need to put food on the table. Like, don't just go to AI to because it's cheaper when you can do stuff like this. Now, if this wasn't stock footage, if this was or is the actual artist, because it doesn't really say. My only wish is that they got just a few more shots, not many more, but like get a handful more, make it a bit exciting. Like if you've already got him standing there in the light, unless there's some sort of significant time crunch, there's nothing stopping you from getting more angles. Like at the end of the day, 80% of the music videos I've done are just the band performing, and like you can get so many unique angles just from a band performing. You can get above them, below them, either side, close up, far away. Like there's like a million alternatives. And also another big thing I love doing is what's called dirty shots. And we've spoken about this before. That's where you have an element out of focus in the foreground compared to wherever your subject matter actually is. And I would have loved to have seen that in this. They've got a lot of cool effects, like sort of these whooshy whip pan like sped up moments, but I would have loved to have seen them like bring some neon lighting or whatever lighting they're using here, that spotlight, and actually use it to like bokeh and flare in front of the artist a bit and make the shot, not the shirt, a bit dirtier. But yeah, all in all, pretty cool music video. Alright, so first of the heavy metal music videos now. This is the Browning Bloodlust. Now, what's interesting about this is actually a pretty old song of theirs. Like, I have had this on a playlist for a very long time, but it says evolved, so I don't know if they've changed the song a bit for this, or if it's just they didn't have a music video before and now they decided to re-release with a music video. I don't know, but let's jump on into it. And the Browning are very like techno heavy metal. Very cool. Ooh, 4K. Okay. Speaking my language. Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah. And she was floating as well. That was awesome. They have changed this. What the hell? Damn, this is like actual hard style now. Cool, got the light flashing to the beat. Hell yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Ooh. Very cool, like LED tube wall there. So cool. And all this is like, it's just relying on like shadows and stuff to add contrast. Like a lot of this lighting is just one directional. Like those tube lights would be like, yes, they're adding a bit of glow on the back and side walls there, but all they're essentially doing is being like a backlight. They're just separating the artist from, like in this shot here, they're separating him from what would otherwise just be shadow behind him. Cool, sort of a ghost effect there. And then with this, like you could tell just in the quality of the red on him, like look at how close you have to be to these tube lights to actually get any light. And you can see that the quality of the light on him isn't as good as when we're in these like wider shots, right? And that's okay. Like it adds a mood. Like look at that. That's awesome with the contrast of the shadows there. But yeah, like that's the downside of tube lights, are often you have to be pretty close to them to get decent light. And the light you're gonna get isn't like, it's not as good as like an actual like proper film light. Hell yeah. Love the like ghost effect they keep chucking on. It's so cool. Lots of energy and push. Oh, that's cool. Let's pause on that. Hang on, take that back. Put it back. Look at that. And again, that's so simple. That is just having a top light on this person. That's just, yeah, lighting up those features. But look at how fucking scary. Like, look at the shine you get on the eyes as well. Like, that is, yeah. That is, like, some horror level stuff there. Ooh! So cool that they have like some hard style dancing in there, like this stuff. Love it. Bit of smoke machine in there as well. Woo-hoo! So yeah, like, I wonder why they, like, re-released this song. Like, I wonder if it's, like, an anniversary of the album or something like that. Oh, God. What's gonna happen now? Is it gonna be a filthy breakdown? Ooh, that's a cool effect. Nice! Yeah. Look at that top lighting. That's so cool. Oh! That's awesome. That is fucking cool. Almost reminds me of the trailer for, I think it was Diablo 4, where they reveal Lilith. Like, that is so fucking cool. That is awesome. And again, just the power of top lighting. Like, you've got all this, like, fake blood or slime, whatever the hell it is, on your subject matter here. You throw that harsh top light on, and that is gonna shine up a storm. And, like, that's the benefit of, you've probably heard, if you watch a lot of these reactions, you've probably seen for a few music videos me talk about if you're filming on cement, just getting a hose and like wetting it, because again, every single source of light is going to reflect on that wet surface, and it just it doesn't like reflect the light. You know, it's not doing anything from a luminance standpoint, but it does add texture and shape into your images. And this is another perfect example. Like, if it was just person standing here, it would just be like a normal looking top light shot, you know, nothing really that special. But it's the fact that they have them in all this goo that you're getting this harsh shine that you would never get otherwise if it was just a normal person standing there. So yeah, really, really cool. Otherwise, this is a super simple music video. This would all be filmed on a set, which makes life way easier when you're trying to do like these tube light things. You can just permanently have those attached to a wall, or so that they're at least very easy to put on and take off again. But yeah, and you just move that up to them and get your shots, and bim bam boom. And as for these wider shots where the whole band is there, I'll see if I can find one. But you know, it's the same as even like the guy dancing and stuff. Like, all of this is just on a set. You know, it's just a set with a backdrop. And yeah, you just shoot light into it. This would probably all be backlight, because probably a backlight and a top light. And you can tell that from the shadows. Like, the shadows are much more towards the front. They're a lot more silhouetted. So that would probably be a backlight doing that. But the top light, you could just see like some, you know, light on their hands and stuff that you wouldn't necessarily get from just purely a backlight. So yeah, really, really cool, really simple. Again, if you can make a music video like this and nail it, you'll get a client every week. All right, so the second heavy metal music video, and that is Ghost Umbra. Yeah, let's jump into it. Obviously, I know who Ghost are. I've listened to them many times before. I'm sure this is going to be pretty dope. It's also interesting because I know for a long time they had to call themselves Ghost BC. So, really interesting to see they're just Ghost now. Well, Ghost again. Weird text. I'll be real. Probably could have done with a better text style. Not to mention YouTube compression has like absolutely fucked this over. Oh my god, more cowbell. Oh my god, the fucking cowbell. I was never expecting cowbell in a Ghost song. Cool looking mask though. Nice slow-mo. Interesting location. Ooh, cool, like a kaleidoscopic effect here. That's awesome. I actually paused that at the perfect time. So let's talk about this, right? There's a few ways you could do this. You could do this in editing, where you just multi-layer in the takes on top of each other, and then put in a opacity, like, or lowering the opacity, I should say, to like, you know, 20-30%. So like, you're still seeing the image, but they look like see-through. So that's one way of doing it. Obviously, very easy to do when you are just shooting on a pure black background. Another way of doing this is you can get very specific lens filters that do this kind of effect, and I'll show you one. You can get one of these, which you'll see right there, does a kaleidoscopic effect, and it's really cool. I haven't gotten to use, because I've got so many of these, haven't gotten to use this one yet on a music video, but it's a really easy option. It's just, obviously, if you do it in camera, you have to commit to it. You can't just like shoot it and then be like, oh, actually the kaleidoscope doesn't really work, I'm gonna get rid of it. Like, too bad, all the footage you shot is gonna have, you know, that. So yeah, which is why a lot of people will rather just do it in post-production. Lots of film grain on this. That's cool. Okay. Alright. Two things. One, great time into the music. Finding that little dun, 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 like you can hear that little piano bit there, and that's when they added each layer. So great little attention to detail by the editor. Secondly, this proves that it's a post-production effect, because you can't really do that with a filter in front of the lens. But yeah, lots of film grain on this. See, this is like, I wish the Pyrex one had this film grain on it. Nice little lens flare there. Yeah. Yeah, all of this stuff post-production. I just, the cowbell every time, I just it's just like, I don't know what the guitarist was doing there, like reaching through his leg like, excuse me sir, this is a Wendy's. Interesting lighting as well. Like a cool contrast. Like his bits are more red and blue, but these are like yellow and blue. Nice choreography. Cool little choreography moments to the beat of the music there. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Awesome. That's cool. Hell yeah, choreography to the music. Well, to the guitar solo. That's so cool. Wonder if they've sped that up. It's hard to tell. Loving the flicker of the fire though. Oh, that's cool. Good match cut. Yeah, this is cool. I will say the band shots to me leave a bit to be desired. But then again, they sort of look like they're at a live performance. He's eating her! Oh my god! Nah, very cool lighting. Oh, that's a cool effect. Oh, that's cool. Like a match cut with the artwork. That's great. Hell yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, awesome. Let's see. Oh, yep, they added an intimacy coordinator, hair and makeup, editors, VFX. Yeah, nice. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, so that was the band footage was from an actual concert. Which, yeah, does explain a lot, because I was like, this is not typically how you would shoot band shots, because it feels very like disjointed, and like even just the color tones are very different from the actual narrative stuff in the music video. So like if we watch this, like you could see what I mean. Like it feels less cinematic and more like this was a camera on a tripod, like watching the drummer, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so just very, very interesting. I honestly think this could have done without the band shots, in my opinion. Obviously, in a dream world, you would show all of the band members in the same lighting, in the same intensity as the choreographed dancers. But it's one of those things where, honestly, I would have rather just stuck with the dancers than show this concert footage. And that's just me. Like, I'm not trying to be a hater or anything like that. But it is just, yeah, like, that's my sort of, yeah, like, if I was directing this, that's sort of how I would go with it. I'd be like, either we have the band come in, like the vocalist, where, you know, we shoot, like, intense shots, get overlays like this, you know, have the guitarist there in the middle with overlays of his guitar, you know, something like that to fit with the rest of the music video, you know, get the cowbell in overlays. But or don't get it at all. That's the way I would sort of approach this. But again, that is such a minor nitpick. All in all, I think it was a great music video, and the choreographers fucking stole the show. Like, fucking great work by them and their coordinator. So, let's jump on into the next one. Alright, so the first rap music video, we've got Central Cee, Iceman Freestyle. Now, if this truly is a freestyle, it's probably just going to be a lot of rapping to camera, like very straightforward and simple. That's usually how freestyles are done. I filmed freestyles before. It's usually very just run and gun, no storyline stuff. But let's see what it is. Oh, loving that little bit of sunlight there. Lots of film grain. Oh, that was a cool shot. Definitely going back to that. Nice. Yeah. See, this is a freestyle. But it's actually got some storyline stuff, which is cool. Hell yeah. He had a chain, but I didn't even know, cause he came in a club with it tucked, it was hidden. I told man, if you wanna be great, be patient, but they still rush to the riches. And all of these guys who talk for the live yours gang would love to be in it. Really energetic shots. My ex wants me to ring her back. I miss your call, I'm on do not disturb. I don't mind if they think his cat is true. Editing always to the beat as well. They're almost doing these flashes to white transitions with the edits here, which really interesting choice, but also gives it that, because this particular rapping style, it's very like, I don't want to say boom bap because I know that that's an actual like subgenre of rap, but it's very da 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 da, like very like machine gun-esque. So doing those like flashes to white, it sort of suits that like gun sound style of rap. If you don't want to convert. Every time I get back, got a buy her a bag. So every other day I got to buy her a purse. Horses only, I don't drag jags. Tell it was me from the engine. And I love sophisticated slags. Nice backlight in there. I came from rags. She don't believe that I come from dirt. Could take you back to the exact track. Cats are still there, you will hear them purr. Give the green light to the gang, they'll crash. Ring the alarm, see everyone purr. Don't spare no one, even mums and dads. Some of these shots have... Oh, that's cool lighting. Oh, good dirty shot. Also, I will acknowledge as well, I love the fact that they've subtitled the whole thing, so people that are into like really breaking down and analyzing the lyrics of a rap can actually do so. Like I think subtitles are always good for rap music because they really emphasize, or typically they really emphasize the like the rhythm of the bars and like double entendres and all of that. So I think it's really cool for people who want to be able to break it down lyrically. If your aim is getting me down, good luck. Awesome dolly shots there. We're alive and well, we're still on top. Oh damn! I don't see nobody else but us. If you wanna compete, put your best foot forward. Nice. I look forward to it. I swear on my life. Cool little follow dolly shot. Actually, no, it would probably be a steady cam. I'm really at war, just spun the car, can't foot that saw him. Conflicted, beef is bad for business, money is more important. So cool. Got a bad bitch that'll make man fall in love, then lure him. I'm trying to leave man 6 foot under, fuck up his house. Some of these shots I'll say it at the end. That's a cool little transition. I'm fucking a basketballer's wife, can't pay like I play for the Piston. I told bro if you see them, crash it immediately and don't wait for permission. I thought it was beef, them boy they're sweet. I ain't got real enemies. My bro still spread white stuff uptown, like Philadelphia cheese. And he got dark like South Sudanese, no drought, still out in the B. Everything's gonna make sense in the end when we all get out of the streets. Cool. Awesome, I love this. Yeah, that's cool. That old vintage silent movie style. That's cool. Alright, let's break it down. So first off, the credits in the opening title, fucking cool. I love this, like, yeah, silent era film type of title card. Like, that alone is so much effort to make. So I appreciate that 110%. Lots of film grain as well, which obviously goes into that sort of vintage style. I would almost be curious what this whole music video would look like in black and white. I'm not saying it would look better or worse. It would just be an interesting choice. But lots of energy on the edits, on the camera movements. Lighting for a lot of these is just backlighting or top lighting. This car shot, that is literally just a front mounted camera as he's driving. If you've got the right stuff, super simple to get, you know. And then, yeah, nice dramatic shots of the orchestra, some drone shots. And yeah, just lots of energy on these shots as well, which is, yeah, great to see. That's really nice. I like that side-ish backlighting on him. It's separating him from the background. It's adding, like, yeah, dimension into the car itself. But you're also getting a bit of wraparound. Like, if you... And this is the stuff you've got to think about when you're filming. So, if there wasn't something on the front of him here, it would just be complete shadow, because that light is just a hard light hitting that side of the face. So what they would have is just a little bit of bounce, just a little bit, to bounce a bit of that light back into his face to actually make it, you know, readable. One thing I will say that it's okay. It's hard to say this because I don't want to offend people, but actually, first off, this red and blue, love it. That is so my vibe. But and this really nice sturdy shot. I love just it dollying in with that car in the foreground and stuff. But I really notice when we get to the table, I think it's around here. Yeah. So I get that it's really hard. I in no way envy or could do better than any of these guys in front of camera. But the hard thing is, and I find it a lot of the time with rap artists, is there'll be times where they don't know their words, or that the fact is 9 times out of 10 they know their words, but it's just that it's happening so fast, and while they're like in the moment trying to look cool and they're trying to like look at the camera and all of this, they get tongue-tied, which I completely understand. Again, I would be terrible doing this. But it's one of those things where it really adds emphasis to you as the editor to make sure that that stuff is not seen. I would say in rap music, more so than any other genre, it is imperative when you're editing it that you make the artist like look like they know every word to their own song and can perform it flawlessly. Metal bands, who cares? You know, whatever. Any other genre, you know, pop, whatever, it does not matter. Rap music, because there is such an emphasis on rappability and lyrical ability, like, it actually can fuck with people's careers if you make like it look like they don't know how to rap. Now obviously someone like Central C, I mean, he's one of the best in the world. So making a few little mistakes doesn't really matter or whatever, right? But it's so important, like, when you're filming some local rappers for music videos, this is the importance of having B-roll. Even if they're like, oh, dude, we just want to rap to camera and that's it. Like, get some crowd shots, get some B-roll, get some shots where you can't see their mouths, because it is so imperative that if they fuck up their lyrics, you cut away to another shot. Do not show it in the music video, because it can make them genuinely look bad. So yeah, just always, if you're a music video creative and you're working with rappers, just always make sure that you show their lyrical ability at its best and never at its worst. All right. But yeah, all in all, really interesting concept for a music video. I really fuck with that. That was awesome. All right, so final music video of the video. We've got Yung Bleu, Forbidden Fruit. And we finally got a 4x3 music video. Let's jump on in.
Temptation doesn't corrupt humans. It reveals them.
Ooh, very intense already. Nice reveal shot.
Lives in the space between warning and want.
Holy shit, okay, hand, that match cut, what the hell was that?
And want.
Whew. Nice push in.
Humans reach for the forbidden fruit. The desire
like 4 match cuts there.
Just eat the bite. Humans don't resist temptation. We justify it until surrender feels
Oh my god. What the hell? Oh, that lighting. Hand, we need to go back. Right there. Boom. Alright, so, first off, loving the focal distance. Like, that just, you know, the whole background's blurry. The 4x3 is really like, that's why I'm loving the intensity of the music video, because the 4x3 is really just making our eyes drawn to what they're showing us right in the middle. Lighting wise, this is beautiful. Like, yeah, everything in the background being like out of focus. She's perfectly in focus. And then you've got this Rembrandt lighting, which means it's at a 45-degree angle, at least this yellow lighting is. And we can tell that by the triangle that we're getting under the eye. But then we've also got a bit of side light here, which is also potentially acting as a bit of like separation between her and the background. But that's that white light that we see shining on her neck and side there. But yeah, like a lot of these is Rembrandt lighting. Like even hard to, like even this, like that's very Rembrandt-y. Like we can tell that that light again would sort of be like, sort of, yeah, like a 45-degree from him on the other side, because obviously the camera is on the other 45-degree axis from him. Cool bit of strobe. Nice backlight. Black and white is dope. Can't nobody touch you. That's forbidden fruit. Swinging on your trees like Adam and Eve. Yeah, nice backlighting in all of these shots. Beautiful backlighting because it's separating the focal point from the background. She looks at me and grins, and then she takes a bite, and these match cuts are wild. And the camera's got good energy to it as well. Like I am liking the movement in some of these shots. Like that, it's just adds a little bit of life to it, you know. I will say, just personal preference, some of the edits feel a bit too much. That's a cool shot. Okay, hand. That right there is exactly what I was talking about earlier. So that is why you wet a floor, like if it's concrete or whatever, you just add some puddles, add some dampness, because look at the shot we're getting there. Like this would be an actual puddle because it's deep enough to get actual shape in there, and like That's just fucking cool. Now, obviously, that could also be a VFX job. I understand that. But yeah, just so cool. Lots of smoke machine. Bit of fog machine as well. We can actually, sorry to keep pausing it, there's a lot to talk about in this one. But you could see the difference between haze and fog. Fog is this low-hanging, very thick type of smoke at the bottom here, moving around his feet. Haze is all of this stuff up top, which is very fast-moving and has a lot more thinness to it, so you can actually still see through it. This like subtle pushing on him, so cool. Yeah, see, some of these strobes, bit too much. Like, and that's my opinion. Like, I understand some people might be like, oh, it's boring without the flashes, but I like this cinematography. Like, show me the lighting. And I can't do that if it's strobing flashes every now and again. Very cool. Interesting. It's a shame they didn't commit to the whip pans there. I'll definitely talk about that at the end. What minute was that? Like 3? Yeah, see, they just did it again. Choreography's nice. Yeah. Interesting. Alright, so let's talk about some of this. I know I did a lot of talking during it, but this is a very nicely lit music video. Like, it is beautiful, some of these shots. And as I say, my first and sort of, I'd say, biggest criticism is you just get these moments where they feel like they need to chuck a bunch of unnecessary post-production strobes on top. Nah, you know, leave that out of it. Just keep it, like, you know, it's such beautiful imagery and like vibes. Don't ruin it with a bunch of unnecessary strobes. That's just my opinion. But another little thing that is a bit of a shame here is when we get around 3 minutes, I think. Yeah, so here they're doing these, like, in the orange shots, they're doing these whip pans away, but with the blue, with this shot, they didn't get any, like, whip pan ins. And so that's where you're ending with this thing of, like, and gotta find it again. There. You're getting these, you know, whip back and forths on the orange shots, but not on the blue shots, and so it feels disconnected. And that's why it's very important to have the understanding of, like, where you want shots to be. Oh damn, that's a bit of thunder. But yeah, so that's a good example of you've either got to commit to the idea or don't commit at all. Which is why, you know, it's the same with like the filter stuff. It's like, if you're going to do it in camera, you have to commit to it. You have to be like, okay, we're gonna whip away in these shots, and it'll cut with this other scene where we'll be whipping in and out as well. But instead, you know, they just did this static shot with a zoom in, and yeah, it just doesn't edit together that well. But other than that, yeah, gorgeous lighting, gorgeous cinematography. I love the 4x3 because it really keeps us like dead center focused. We've got a lot of interesting match cuts, especially in the beginning, like between where she comes in as like the chef. Oh, gotta find that.
Lives in the space between morning and want.
That beautiful, beautiful match cut. And that's the thing, again, that takes a bit of prep work to know, okay, we're going to chuck a match cut in there. Like, you can't just accidentally fall into that. Like, that is very purposeful. So it's one of those things where you can see they definitely did a lot of planning for this, but it's just a shame with that whip panned in that it didn't come together probably as was initially intended. But yeah, otherwise really cool music video, such a vibe. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out more videos. I'll be back next week with another 6 trending music videos, but there'll be other uploads before then. Yeah, see you in the next one. Ciao.